Take a good look at the person to your left, to the person at your right, in front of you or behind you. Now, only one of you will be successful at the end of this year. Now, those were the opening lines for my professor at university. Day one of my student life, and defeat was already part of the story. Wow. All these people around me suddenly my competitors, and I had no clue what to do. I've never been to university before. So we were not set up to support each other. We were set up to be each other's competitors. We had to do things alone. Work hard, toughen up. You come out of gymnasium. Now it's time of the real life. Do it by yourself. But what if you cannot do it by yourself? What if you really need support? What if you don't want to do it alone? We learn from each other. We copy our siblings. We want to learn from parents, not always. We have our education. And it's exactly that is then transferred into the work life. Now, what does that say from our mentality when we go into the workplace? Do we still think we need to do it by ourselves? What if something else was happening? Take again a good look at the person to your left. Is it still the same person? Person to your right, front of you or behind you? Well, all four of you will be successful as long as you really want to help each other to move forward. There is absolutely no reason why not all four of you would be successful. Now, if you would have that mentality and transfer that to work, now what would that be? The business needs innovation to move forward. We all know that, right? This is no secret. We also need to be agile to be innovative. But both of them need something very specific. And it's my link to presentation skills. If you cannot transfer your message clearly, the business will not move forward. And I know there's a number of people in this room who love to talk and love to come on stage. And you know what? Actually, this session is not even for you. But please stay. But for the ones who have a harder time, you got hired for a good reason. You got hired for your skills, for your capabilities, for your mind. And we need you to share that message. We cannot afford, the business cannot afford that you keep silence. Doesn't matter which department you're from. We want you to be successful. I really want you to be successful. So I want to share with you my vision on presentations, something I've developed over many years. It might look very familiar to you. Everybody knows what this is? This is your presentation objective. Every time you stand on stage, every time you speak at a meeting, it doesn't really matter where, you should have a very clear objective. People know that. This is why you were asked to speak. Tomorrow, 10 people will share their vision, their pitch. You have very clear objective. You might probably want to go for approval of the pitch. Maybe you want to have time, resources, budget. Who knows? But you have a very clear objective. Tomorrow, I want to reach that. Most of the time, people apply a technique which is very common. Prepare, rehearse, deliver. Now, this is not rocket science, is it? But very honestly, how many of you in the prepare stage just throw some slides together, right? And they jump into delivery? rehearse, no, that's not in my vocabulary. And then they're very much surprised it didn't go so well. How many of you look at the slide and say, whoa, I forgot to take that one out. Ooh, I forgot what it was about. So prepare, rehearse, deliver, although it's very simple, it's actually not that simple to put into practice. And if you don't think that's simple, there is even something else that happens. And this is where I believe a lot of things go wrong. You know, presentation skills are seen as a soft skill, and I think this is the core of the issue. Presentation skills are not soft skills. I totally disagree. I mean, soft skills, softy. Now, who wants to take that serious? Right? Soft skills are the first skills that we will put to the side when the budget gets tight. But it is through communication that you can actually have your next business. So presentation skills are a hardcore skill. And it is my utmost wish that this one day will come into practice. And if we can be that example that we say communication is the first one to invest in, because that will make the business happen. Back to presentations. There is actually something else that happens that make people, they experience like fail. Because beside your presentation objective, the moment that you accept to speak, there's something else that happens. And is actually highly, highly underestimated. It's your personal focus. What is your personal motivation to have accepted to speak on stage? 10 of you will be on stage here. Why did you say yes? And why did the other one say no? What drives you to want to present? This is really important. You will have a handout at the end of this session where a number of questions will be mentioned regarding exactly that phase. And I highly invite you to answer those questions with the utmost honesty, because it is the one that will make you successful in every next presentation that you give. I promise you that. This is the one that will show you how you stand and what you think about presenting, what you really want to get out of it for yourself. Now, I know there's a mix of people here. So you have line management, upper line management, you have the core team, you have the employee, everybody is here. Now, when you stand up here, how tempting is it to want to impress somebody? Maybe you want to move into your next department and the principal person sitting right there. What will that do to your presentation? How will it influence your presentation? The presentation objective is the first thing to go into prepare, rehearse, deliver. But at the same time, your personal motivation will be this undercurrent. The moment you accept, you have it. And understand me correctly, I want you to have it. If you don't have a personal motivation, there's no excitement, there's no anticipation. So I really want you to want to say yes. It's okay, you should want to have it. Just be aware of it. If you're not aware of it, this is what happens. Your personal motivation blurs everything out. And what does that look like in real life? How many of you have seen a slide deck where you need an extra pair of glasses because the font is so small, but all the text is on it? No? Who has been hit by bullet point? How much can you put on a slide because you think that that data is still very important because it makes me look good? Not necessarily information somebody else wants, but necessary to highlight your achievements. And it's good to highlight your achievements, however, it needs to be balanced. And if the achievements become more important than the presentation objective, you are hijacking your presentation and every other ones. Now, what does blurring mean in rehearsing phase? First of all, there's no rehearsing. I do have a little message here, right? If you give a presentation, you're talking out loud. Now, how many native English speakers are in the room? Can I have a show of hands? Now, it's not so many. Most presentations are in English. Now, you might know your slide really well, and you're the expert in your slide. Can you also explain it? Do you know the vocabulary to explain what you know so well? And you might do it in your head, and you think, I'm rehearsing in my head, and I'm reading my slides. Not the same. Everything I say today, you never have to even put into application. But if you would put it into application, I can tell you that your delivery will not become your rehearsal. Because the first time you speak out loud, it's a rehearsal. And then you will hear your thoughts like, oh, that's not what I want to say. And if you're confused, now who else will be confused? Everybody else. So during your rehearsal, you get crystal clear. Crystal clear. And every time you rehearse again and again. If you don't, it's blurred, right? Now, another reason why we don't rehearse is because we don't really want to find out how much we don't know. And it's very scary, you know. Very scary to even hear yourself. You know, I rehearse in front of the mirror. Now, guess who's my biggest critic? It's not you. It's the one in the mirror. Gosh, I can hate this person. But it works, because I can get crystal clear. Now, what does a delivery look like which is blurred? In short, those are the presentations that I wish that the presenter would pay me to listen to. Because those are the presentations that go totally out of hand. They run horribly over time, and I exit more confused than I entered the room. In a delivery, when you get hijacked from your personal motivation, something else happens, and I wish that this never happens to you, which I really hope you can apply some of the information today. This is when people get blanks. This is when people literally, suddenly look into the room and they stop. Because they spotted somebody that they were hoping was not in the room. In a delivery, they will start interpreting people's behavior. Oh, I saw you look at your iPhone, so it must be me. Person is standing up and walking out, it must be me. Two people are speaking together, it must be me. Well, there's 1,000, 1,000,000 reasons why people are not necessarily listening to you. And who knows, they might be taking notes on their phone. They might telling to their neighbor, oh, I didn't know, or I do this too, or this is great information, I hadn't seen this before. You don't know why people leave the room. I mean, how many of us have families? How many of us have emergencies that we just need to leave? I have really good news for you. When people do something in the audience, 99%, it's not about you. So relax. Relax, really relax. On the contrary, we can even say like, oh, I hope it's not too bad. So we want to do something different. We're not going to blur. From today on, you will be your best ally. Because the one that will never leave you is yourself. So let's make a friend out of you. So we will get very clear about this personal motivation. You answer those questions on the sheet, you will see why you're motivated. But you need to know that, because it will support every other phase. When you know that you would like to impress somebody, then get the facts that they need to hear. So in the prepare phase, you will make sure that you provide only that data which is necessary for the audience to hear, and everything else you take out. If you notice that you want to put in more, just take it out. The preparation phase has also a number of questions, is 3 sections that I also have on the same paper, which I hope you can look into also for the pitch tomorrow. You answer those, you find information that you need, and it works. Rehearsing. Please, please rehearse at least once out loud. You need to hear your own voice. You need to be able to pronounce the words that you would like to pronounce in another language. And at the same time, deliver. Stay out of people's business. If you really want to deliver a good message, focus on the presentation objective. And that's very clear, right? So we all got this now, right? I take your silence as a really clear yes. It's like all sinking in. It's really fantastic. But there is something else I want you to do. This is the concept of buy versus sell. You know, I grew up with a mom who had a shop. A shop mattresses, beds, pillows, and so on. Phenomenal salesperson because she never sold one mattress in her whole life. Golden shop, 42 years, no problem. I learned not to sell. And so my very first mattress that I did not sell was at the age of 14. So what did I do? The client bought. And how come the client bought the mattress? It's because I didn't push it onto them. Because I literally was able to indicate all the different products that we had, have them test the different products, gave my advice, which I learned from my mom. You need to look at this. Have them test out the mattress, don't sleep overnight. And then have them decide for themselves. And this is a really big message. Never sell your project. You're like, what? Never sell it. Let the people buy your project. Let the people buy your pitch tomorrow. Give all the information which is necessary. You are a group of highly intelligent people. We can think for ourselves. We are capable of making up our own mind, and anyway we will do it. But when you sell something, they tried to sell me a Skoda a few weeks ago. It didn't work too well. And the reason why is because, first of all, I didn't want that car. Nevertheless, let's make the whole document, let's look at everything you can have. And it was so pushy. The person wasn't listening to me. I was really hoping to get, I don't know how much percentage out of the sale. And I could feel it. So I just walked away. After an hour, I just let him look for everything. It was nice to see a little bit of the difference. But then I went into another place and I did buy a car. Because it was different. This person gave me the information and I could think for myself. I had the possibility to make up my own mind at my time. When you give a presentation, you know your presentation, you know your facts. But everybody else hears it for the very first time. So they need to have this information sink in. That's why you just present everything they need to know and then you leave it there. So they can take it up, think about it, and then you can have a conversation. So the convincing part, people say, yeah, but we were told we need to convince people. Yes, you will convince people with your data, with your enthusiasm, with how much you believe in the project. I mean, it's okay to believe in it. That's your personal motivation. You want the project to take place. You want the budget. You want the FTE on site. You want whatever you want from it. You can have it as long as you keep it on this side of the curtain. And you let people on that side to make up their own mind. So that will definitely work. Buy versus sell. You let them buy. And you can make up, for your own mind, how do you feel when somebody is pushing it up to you and they want you to do something? Do we rebel? Or do we say, yes, okay, I will follow your guide? Or would you like to think for yourself? So this is a very important concept that I hope that tomorrow you will apply. I promise this is a winner. And I'm looking forward to hearing how many people were able to present it. And it doesn't mean that you need to be apathic, right? It's like, okay, this is the data and that's it, and you leave. No, it's really like, oh, I really believe in this. Really, oh. It's so nice to see people be enthusiastic, because their enthusiasm will literally make you enthusiastic. I really want you to be successful. And there's a few reasons why I want you to be successful. So first of all, I know this method helps, and it is a thrill. It's so nice to watch people present their thoughts and then learn from them and really be inspired by how happy they feel. It's just a joy. I love to spend my time looking to presenters, hearing from them, learning from them, broadening my horizon, and making sure that I can make up my own mind if I believe it too. The second reason why I want you to be successful is that wouldn't it be nice if we had a little bit less long meetings? Because presentations go horribly over time. Wouldn't it be nice if we had meetings where literally the person knows what they're talking about and at the end you know it too? That's what we want to achieve, and that's why I have my hidden agenda. I want to go to your meetings and afterwards be totally inspired and I know what you just said. Now, to be successful, it takes two to tango. The first one, I want you to be successful. Just stand in those shoes and say to yourself and look in the mirror, I want you to be successful. Now, it really matters to you how much you want to apply and how much you really want to move forward, how much you want to change or influence your own presentation skills. Nobody can force you to do anything. You can bring the horse to the water, you cannot force it to drink. So there is one major person in this part of success, and that's you. Absolutely you. So you are so free. It's fantastic. There is, though, another element, and this is the person to your left, to your right, in front of you, behind you. That's the one that will make sure that you will want to be successful. I honestly believe that this whole organization can exist of phenomenal presenters because you want this for each other, and you will move each other forward through the skills and the capabilities that you have. So the people who prefer not to present tomorrow, wouldn't it be cool if they present? And wouldn't it be fantastic if they were just brought to that level and cheered up by everybody who's listening? This is actually what happens in the Toastmasters. It's a very highly supportive environment where failure does not exist. It's mutual support. There's more applause there than people speaking. And the only reason why we applaud is that basically we want people to keep on returning. Because it's only through trial and error that you can get there. So if you feel very uncomfortable presenting, just do it. Go for it. And everybody else who's listening will applaud. And that's what we want you to do. Because honestly, you have something to say and we want to hear it. If you don't say it, we are missing out. So for the teams, just look at who will be doing the presentation and really make sure that they get the point ready, that you focus on the presentation objective. See how much of yourself is influencing it. Check the questions that I've prepared for you. Let them rehearse out loud. Help them explain what they really think and really believe. It will work. I promise you that. And then give them a chance to just do it. And then everybody else who comes on stage here is, to me, a winner. Once we have more of those, we will finally hear all the brilliant ideas that people have in this company. That's when we will have innovation and agility. Everybody should feel the courage to speak up. When we combine this all together, you will make sure by yourself that you focus on the 3 stages. Know what you really want out of it It's okay to, to give a good impression. It's nice. It's nice that your team thinks, oh, you did a good job. It's nice that your line management say like, oh, that was good. Of course, I want this for you too. But give them the data so they can make up their mind that you did a good job. The team will make sure that you get clear, you adapt where necessary, or you take out again what is blurring a presentation, and during the delivery, you stay clear. Now, how do you do this? Now, especially in the beginning, and we do also do this in the clubs, you know people that you feel more comfortable with. People from your group. Do not all sit together. Put people on different sections of the chairs. The moment you start feeling nervous, look at the one that will smile at you. Nice. Avoid the ones who go like... And if you do spot them, think, it's not me. Must be something with the cat. And then you will really have this drive to continue. You can do this. I can't be there tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I will hear from it. I would love to hear and see you guys all thrive. Because there is no borders. This company is only department names, but there's no borders. I profit from what you all are doing. We know you have a message. We want to hear it. So the ones who have not spoken up, just grab that courage. Grab the one on the left and the right in front and just the one next to the left and the left. Whatever it takes, just to find the courage and just to go for it. Tomorrow you can share your message. Take this opportunity and every other opportunity that you get. Because in all, we all want you to be successful.